Welcome to the show. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. Sun is out. I got the windows open. It's that fall weather, the best outfit weather, hoodie season, scarf season. There's no better time than to talk about Mindful. This is Mindful, a journey to mental wellness. That's what this new podcast is. I have been so excited to share this podcast with you, and I've been writing this first episode for a little while and trying to perfect it, and is it ready to be shared, and there's this nervous energy about it, and I don't know, maybe I'll record this day, and maybe I will do this day, and I'll keep postponing, and on all of these things, and I really had to understand why there was this nervous energy about this podcast and me sharing my journey, the issues that I've been having. It's because the topic is so damn important. It's so damn important. Mental health has always been a big thing to me, but I'd say in the last 3 years, as all of us have gone through with changes in job and relationships and COVID, and there's been so much going on that I know in the first time in a long time, I've had the most depressive thoughts that I've had, probably since in my early 20s when I really dealt highly with depression and anxiety. And I've been trying to find a platform to share and have it be an open forum so you all can share and know that it's okay to be dealing with things and it's okay to ask for help. That's what this is about. I want to thank everybody that has supported me and pushed me to do this because, again, I like sharing stories and any wisdom that I've gained over the years of, being here on this planet. And to me, that's the biggest responsibility that any of us have is if we learn something that we should find someone to pass the wisdom on to. And I want to thank those that have supported me and pushed me to just do this. So you all know who you are. Thank you so much. The future of this podcast looks really bright. I've already gotten in contact with some friends that work in mental health industry that will come on and tell us what great signs are, how to ask for help for families, that type of thing. I'm going to share some books that I've been going through, which I have one that I'll share with you later on in the podcast today. It's going to be really fun. I'm so excited. But I want to just say thank you for just allowing me to come on and be a voice and an advocate for mental health and your mind. My mind too, but your mind. So what is mindfulness? I say mindful, a journey to mental wellness. And again, that's the difference between having your mind being full and being mindful of your mind. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not to overly react or be overwhelmed by what's going on around us. I think now more than ever, there's so many distractions that are in our world. Instant gratification in all things has become at the forefront of our new human nature after COVID, and we want things immediately. As people have moved to remote, they're on their phones. They have this TikTok where they can get instant joy in 2 seconds because of a funny video, and it's all right here. I'll even say I've brought up to a few people, clients, friends, where I even noticed the urgency on just driving to work, how fast everyone drives now. Where me who drives like my father and is very defensive, and he's a little bit older, and that's okay, Byron. But he drives like a person that's in their mid-60s, and I've always been that kind of a person, and I started getting faster and faster, and now like 70 was like I'd go 5 over. 75 is now I'm not even still keeping up with it, and now I see people buzzing past me at 80, 85, and that's the flow of traffic, and it's that instant, I gotta be there sooner, I gotta be there immediately. There's just this, if I don't get there, I'll miss something type of urgency in our lives right now where we don't stop and slow down. But mindfulness, think of the times that you even are driving and all of a sudden you're 15 minutes into your drive and you actually come back to your now thought and go, oh shoot, I don't even remember getting off of the exit. I don't remember a lot of my 20-minute drive because I was thinking of the future, what my day was going to look like. The conversation that I had with family. I'm distracted. I'm not even focused on anything that I'm doing. What did I miss? What did I miss in that drive? Now, there are statistics that say, that your mental awareness in your driving, especially if it's a path that you already taken, that can't, you'll be fine. But at the same time, like, again, what did you miss? What would the sunset look like? What did the sunrise look like? These moments in nature, funny license plate, just being aware of what's going on in the now without thinking of what that future holds for you is about what mindfulness is. Now, there's got to be a balance to all things. I'm not saying never plan. I'm not saying don't reflect. But there has to be moments of now, because now is where we are. Now is just as important. So never lose the now and the urgency of that. There are a few exercises that I have started to do, and I'm not an expert. Period. I'm not an expert. I still need to work on making them a priority. But I feel like if I talk about it, I'll try it and I'll keep doing it. Breathing. Focused breathing, let me clarify, is one of the best ways to start and end your day. Meditation can be a branch of that, and that takes some practice and everything, but a great way to get, if people have wanted to get into meditation, just having conscious breathing and having focused breath in the morning. Just hold for a moment, release. Having those moments of just breathing, to me, that is your way of stretching your mind. People do yoga for your body, right? You do yoga for your body, and there's some breathing within yoga. You're stretching your muscles. You're doing all these things. Breathing is that which you're doing for your mind. That's yoga. Relaxation. Take a moment. Just there's so many apps and stuff now that you can go on, and there's these guided breathing exercises. You don't need them. If you just literally go, you know what, let me do 2 minutes. I'm just going to go breathe in. I'm going to hold it for a moment, and I'm going to release it. It's going to just give you that balance, that ease into your day. It's going to relax your brain at night. After that busy day, you've had however many meetings, Johnson annoyed you again, whoever that is, all of that stuff that comes with having an office job or even a remote job where you have to listen to conferences and all this stuff, and I can't believe what he said. And then you have your partner, if you have a partner that you're with, and they're telling about your day. And if you're an empath like me, which I'll get into later, if you're an empath like me, not only am I holding on to my stuff that I haven't even had to share yet, but now I got their stuff, and I'm like, what? And I'm interactive. She said, what? And you start to just hold on to all of these things, and and if you don't release them, you're going to keep carrying them. Your cup is going to be full. Your cup is going to run over. Breathing helps you just lower the amount in your cup. Pour out a little so you can just take in more the next day. You're going to need it. Breathing. Now, like I said, stretching, yoga. Yoga is something that I've done off and on. I'll be honest with you, I need to do it more because I've been unhealthy, and I'll talk about my stress eating that I do, as a lot of us do. Yoga is a wonderful thing. It really is. Now, finding the app or the yoga instructor is so important. It's got to be someone that you fit with, and I'll say that with counseling, with anything. You got to find the fit that's for you and the energy that you feel off of that person and that human. That's just as important as anything. So finding someone, find someone to do it with. If you have a support system, ask them like, hey, you know what? The way that I need to start this is Will you do it with me? Because I feel like I'm never going to be that person that's going to push myself. I need someone there to hold me accountable. Do that. Do some yoga. Honestly, after I've done my breathing exercises, what I have started to do right before I go and get in my car for my day, I pour my little hot water with a little lemon. Not really tea. I do hot water, lemon, little honey. I go stand on my back patio, and I just enjoy that moment. I listen to the birds. I listen to what the sound of the leaves are through the trees. I look at the sunrise. I just listen, and I just am. In that moment, I just am. Go be. I give myself 10 minutes to just do that. I'll breathe a couple times. I'll continue that. I'll enjoy that. I'll feel the breeze. I'll feel the energy of the world. And I'll go start my day. I'm not always good at it. Sometimes you wake up and you've had nightmares. You do all this kind of stuff. You're already worried about what you have. And those are the moments that you probably need it the most. And I'll be honest with myself, I don't always do it. But those are the moments that you need it the most. Try that. Try that. Whether it's the morning, you end your day that way, so hopefully it makes you sleep better, so you wake up and want to do it the next morning. But those are those moments. Just go be. But I've started doing that, and it's been amazing. And I'll say the very last thing that I've started doing, again, because I used to do it so often, journaling. Writing is a huge part of my life, as I've done poetry for years. I've written songs. I've done just lyrics for other people. I love to write. Writing in general is good. Some people will find it hard to, hey, what topic should I write about? Just write. Put your pen down. Write your current thoughts. What are you doing? What do you like about your day? Do gratitude, right? Do gratitude thoughts. Things that, just write down things that made you happy in the day, things that made you upset during the day, what you wished for. Just do grateful gratitude things. Just do a journey and just write, because sometimes if you can't express it verbally, writing it down in paper and seeing, oh, this is actually what my brain is doing, could be a huge, huge, huge thing for you. I just started doing poetry again. I mean, not everybody's good at poetry, but I'll say this. There are no rules to poetry. I'm not going to go and structure and make everything rhyme, but a poem's a poem is a poem. Mostly mine's about love, because I'm a hopeless romantic, and that's what I do. But poetry has become a beautiful way to tell stories for me. And I would suggest it to anybody. But like I said, just create a story. Be imaginative. Remember when you were young and you would just let your mind wander, as far as letting your imagination take control? Do that every now and then. Write a story. Create some people. Create them. You'd be impressed with yourself. Create a storyline and characters, and just have fun with yourself. In that moment, you're just expressing yourself. You're doing some things, and maybe some of those subconscious feelings will come out in that story. And when you read it back, you'll go, wow, this character is actually me, or this is the me when I was younger. You can do that. But I would highly, highly recommend is getting a journal and just letting your hand do the work and seeing where it takes you. It can be so expressive and so amazing to just get all of that out. Now, I'm going to get into how to deal with certain stressors. There's a book that I'm reading. I'm going to show you. This is called Meditation and Mindfulness. It's the Headspace Guide to Meditation and Mindfulness by Andy Puddicombe. This has been a wonderful book. I haven't quite finished all of it yet, but the end of the book, there are 10 suggestions for living more mindfully, and I highly recommend that you check this book out. I got it at the library. I all of a sudden got a library card, and I'm reading books again and trying to, expand my mind. But there's some great things in here on what your perspective should be, choosing how you see your life, communication, Appreciation, which is that mindfulness I was talking about of just being in the moment. And, it says in here, have you ever noticed how much emphasis some people place on even the smallest amount of difficulty in their lives and how little time they spend reflecting on moments of happiness? I'm going to read that again. Have you ever noticed how much emphasis some people place on even the smallest amount of difficulty in their lives and how little time they spend reflecting on moments of happiness? I do that often. Sadly, I do that often. Those little things that are annoyances that you see in other humans and you focus on that and then it becomes bigger. I do that often. Appreciation, smelling the roses. Kindness towards both yourself and others. And I'll say yourself is probably the biggest one, because if you're kind to yourself, you're going to naturally be kind to others. What you give yourself, you're going to give onto others. Compassion. Put yourself in the shoes of others. Be that empath if you can. Show empathy. Balance. A sense of equanimity. Balance is huge. There's a yin and a yang. Always have balance in your life. This mindfulness, like I said, you can't just be in the moment all the time and not plan, but you got to have that balance there. Acceptance. Resistance is futile. Knowing that things are out of your control is one of the biggest exercises that I can say that you should try to practice, and try to understand that there are going to be situations that are out of your control, and that's okay. There's a chart I'm going to pull up here that my buddy Mark posted on Twitter, and I wanted to share that, and I'll put it up for the people that are watching YouTube or whatever. I'm going to put that up, and I'll describe it for you guys that are going to be listening. But the things that are going to be in control and out of your control, and I'll kind of go through each of those. Acceptance is huge. Composure, letting go of impotence. Impatience, not impotence. That was weird, not impotence. Impatience, I can read. Dedication, sticking with it. That's going to be huge in any of these practices. Dedication is going to be how you do it. I'm not great at dedication. That's probably one of the biggest faults that I have. I'll come up with an idea and I'll put it off, and I don't get dedicated to it. I don't create a habit out of it. Dedication is something that I continue to work on, and hopefully through these things that I'll get better at it, and through support. That's one of those things. That is a fault of mine that I can absolutely admit. And presence, living life skillfully, being present in all things. Check this book out. Again, this is the Headspace Guide to Meditation Mindfulness by Eddie Petticombe, and it says how mindfulness can change your life in 10 minutes a day. Wonderful book. One of the best things I love in the books, switch off after work. That is a huge thing. Switch off. Don't carry your work. As soon as you walk through that door, be present for your family. Be present for yourself. Switch it off. Learn how to switch it off. Learn how to ask for help. Learn how to ask for help. I am horrible at this. I'm a fixer. Always have been in my life. Asking for help is one of the hardest things for a lot of people to do, and I am one of those people. Saying that I'm running on empty and I can't, and saying no, or in the moments of darkness, saying it out loud and saying, I need help today. Please allow me to be vulnerable today. It is so damn hard. We do a good job of building up walls. I do a good job of building up walls where you just say, no, I'm okay. I'm fine. Everyone knows that when someone answers, I'm okay and I'm fine, you're not actually. Surrounding yourselves with people that when they hear that response, that actually can turn to you and say, I'm actually asking you, how are you? And have the ability to go as soon as they get their response and say, and I'm ready to listen. And they sit there and listen to you without interrupting and bringing their self into it. Surround yourselves with as many of those people that you have. You all know who those people are in your life. You have a few of those. You know, as we get older, you start to really realize how many friends you have compared to how many acquaintances you have. Your friend list gets smaller, and you hopefully surround yourselves with the people that actually are going to add to your life. and not be time suckers or soul suckers, energy suckers. I know that we all have, when I think of all of the people that you have in your phone, Facebook friends, you have a certain number of people that, I'll take texting. I'm going to use this as an example. You have a certain number of people that when they text you, you're going to respond to right away no matter what you're doing. More than likely, right? Then you have a few other people that you'll get to, but most of the time you're going to forget. You're going to read the text, you're going to check it off in your brain. I'll either answer it in my head and just not respond because I'm in the middle of doing something that's probably not, too important. But we have those. So I have kind of shrunk down my list of people that I know are going to support me and actually listen to me when I really need to talk. And that's so important. I'm not saying ignore the rest of those people. Just know who your team is. That is so, so, so important. Ask for help from those people. We lose about 800,000 people to suicide every year. That is one person every 40 seconds. Being overwhelmed, feeling unloved is so, so common. Don't let those feelings build up, fester into something worse. I'm not saying that goes straight from that to you want to end your life, but if you spend years in a dark place, it becomes harder and harder and harder and harder to take yourself out of it. Ask for help. Find those places that you can ask for help. I'm going to put suicide helpline. I'm going to put some numbers on the screen so you guys know who to call if you need some counseling. Seek it out. Please seek it out. Teladoc. And I got a shout out to Teladoc. And no, I'm not sponsored by Teladoc. But Teladoc during COVID was one of the best things that I found. I don't have a psychiatrist that I go to often. I don't have one that I just can, hey, I need to have a monthly, weekly meeting, blah, blah. I haven't found one yet. I haven't found my person yet. But what I did find was when COVID happened and everything went so virtual, I actually, in that time, and I got sick and I needed to get an inhaler for the first time, and since I couldn't tell you how long. But I noticed my mother told me about Teladoc, and that was a virtual doctor basically where you can get your prescription filled. You can say, I want to have a video conference. I want to have just a phone conference. They also have mental health. And that saved me. That saved me a couple times. I'll be very, very honest with you. That saved me on some really, really dark moments when I was overthinking and my anxiety was at an all-time high. My dark level, I lost the light. I could not find the light. I couldn't find the switch to turn on the light and get out of the darkness. I just could not. And I had a little 15-minute to half an hour session with Teladoc a couple times. And it, does your copay. It's going through insurance if you have insurance. It saved me in a moment where I didn't know who to talk to, because it can be hard to go to people that are close to you. Sometimes talking to a stranger is the best thing because you feel like you're not going to be judged. That's why it's great to find somebody like a psychiatrist too. That can help you. If you can't go to your friends and family, find someone that you can talk to, like a professional, because you can take that stigma of that feeling like you're going to be judged and looked down upon because you're feeling vulnerable. Especially for a male, I'll be honest with you, we have this macho, testosterone-filled picture that we're supposed to be the providers and we can't show emotion. Now, I was raised by a single mother. I'm a very emotional person, and that's okay. But I still have those moments of thought where I feel like I can't share because I have to step up because the other person around me is feeling vulnerable, and so I can't be vulnerable with them. I have to be the protector, right? I have to, okay, let me fix this. Let me be the provider instead of just going, that sucks. I can't believe you're going through that. I've been there. How can I help? Know that I love you. I'm feeling vulnerable too. You have to be able to have those moments to come down from that. And I see there's I forget what TikTok-y guy on there, maybe you guys have seen him. where he talks about that it's not okay for men to be vulnerable, and because women will find us more sexually unattractive. I'm not saying that there aren't women that would feel that way, but dude, find somebody that doesn't feel that way. Obviously, you've been hurt, and that's okay. You've been hurt, you're jaded, and you've been made to feel, whether that be culturally, you're the male figure in your family that said this, a female that hurt you that said this, you have been around people that said that that's not okay. Find the people that tell you it's okay. And I'll say that to anybody that feels that way. Find the people that will tell you that it's okay to feel that way. We're human. We've been given the ability to have emotions. It's okay to share them. I'm not saying cry every day, but if you need to, shit, do it. I cry often. I'll be moved by a damn commercial sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having a hard day. I had no idea that this banking couple was they got denied for their loan. And obviously that's my day that's coming out in that moment. But it's okay. It's okay to be emotional. I'm not saying be as emotional as I am. That's a lot sometimes. It's a lot for me to be as emotional as I am. But ask for help. Find a way to have your outlet. Please, please, please do. That leads me into my next thing. I want to talk about energy that you surround yourself and being an empath, and what does that mean? Obviously, we have, if you work in any kind of customer facing and sales, we talk about sympathy and empathy, right? Putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, having a real understanding of what they're going through, because maybe you went through it as well, and you can feel the feeling in that one. Being an empath is that to the 25th power. I can say that I'm an empath. I have a wonderful friend, Emmy, who is probably the greatest empath that I have ever seen, and the way that she can connect with energy around her and what she feels around her and what she notices around her is almost like a superpower. It's very supernatural and very awesome to see. Now, what does that mean? A person that is highly attuned to the feelings and emotions around them. Empaths feel what other people are feeling at a deep emotional level. You'll see traits, and if you're ever wondering, like, oh, I've got a friend, see traits, obviously highly sensitive, ability to absorb other people's emotions. Many empaths are introverted. I always say that I'm an introvert masked as an outrovert because I have an outrovert job, but usually when I want to be quiet. If I can find as many moments to be quiet in my day and in my life, I seek those out, and really that's so I can regenerate my battery. Highly intuitive, need alone time, targets for energy vampires. In my life, I've had so many damn energy vampires, and I'll take that back to talking about finding the people around you that aren't selfish in the friendship, that don't come to you only when they have an issue. They want to, it's a two-way street in any kind of relationship. If I'm going to be there for your stuff, please be there for my stuff, and actually listen when I have something to say, because I'm going to listen to you. But energy vampires, they oh my gosh, we get attracted to those so often. Replenished in nature. That's why I said one of my favorite things. Like I love sitting outside and listening and being quiet out in nature. Emmy, and I'm going to speak directly to you. I know that you feel the same way. When I see all the damn trips you go on and how much you're out hiking and all of those things. Nature replenishes your battery, and I love to see that one. Water is mine. So what's so interesting is I don't dislike swimming. Let me just actually be real what that is. I saw Jaws one time, and it made me not be able to like swim in the ocean and stuff like that, but I love water. You can laugh, it's fine. Jaws messed me up for life. So, but water, when I come home, taking a shower is like taking a 5-hour energy to me. Water, the most natural thing on this planet, is how I replenish my battery. I will go get in, and it doesn't even have to be a hot shower. It can be a lukewarm, a little cold is actually better for you anyway. Cold shower, it'll replenish me. It'll make me feel like, ooh, I'm good. I can go attack the world. I'll throw on some music. Usually it's a musical. Usually it's Dear Evan Hansen right now. I will sing, I will be in the shower, and I will come down and be ready for whatever needs to happen next. What can I do? I'm here, I'm back. I feel so energized by that moment of being in my little space, having water hit my body, being outside, just enjoying that moment. Find those things. But yes, replenishment, and I'll say highly tuned to senses. Highly tuned senses, I'm sorry. Gift and a curse when it comes to being an empath. And in this situation, it is very, very hard for me to turn off my senses. Anybody that's had a conversation with me, especially if we're out in public, you'll see me looking around at other people and being aware of what's going on, and I can hear almost every conversation. It is a gift and a curse, and I do find it to be kind of one of my powers to really know what's going on in the area around me, but it also makes me lose focus of what's in front of me. So I'm trying to learn how to turn that off and on, but it's very, very, very difficult to me. So those are traits. Now in that, for empaths, speaking directly to you, to myself, acknowledge when you need to take time for yourself. Say that out loud. Say it to yourself. Say it out loud to yourself. If you live alone, if you don't live alone, you live with somebody else, say it to your partner. It's okay. Say it. That is something that you need in this relationship. That is something that you need in your living space. Say it to yourself. Go in the mirror. Go look in the mirror, and I want you to literally go and say, I need to take this time, and it's okay that I take this time. You can hear my wind chimes outside right now, and the window's open. That's perfect. I love that. Listen to your body when it's on empty. Like I said, tell yourself, your partner, to make it a priority to replenish. People will tend to come to you for help, as I said. Saying no is okay. Saying no is okay. I can't right now because I'm full. I am mentally exhausted. I can't take on anybody's up. Please, can I call you tomorrow? Can I call you later in the week? Schedule a time. I'm not saying I never want to hear the story or never want to help you with this issue. But saying no is such a freeing feeling, and it's okay when you need to say no. Learn how to say that. When you're so overwhelmed and you're super sensitive, you can almost get chippy with the people around you. You can get very short with the people around you. There's some sort of emotion that you need to let out. That usually leads to me to have a completely mental breakdown and an emotional breakdown. I will, because there's been so many things that I've held on to, I will probably just start to cry. And at that point, I can't even pinpoint the exact thing that I'm crying about. But that's okay. Have your breakdown, have your moment of weakness. Please do it. A lot of times we'll go look in the mirror and like you're looking at yourself crying and you're like trying to understand it and you look a hot mess, but you're going to keep doing this. Learn how to have your emotional time where you need to just get some stuff out, and that's okay. Separate yourself. If you don't want to be vulnerable in front of somebody, go separate yourself. Go take your 20 minutes where you can just go exfoliate all of those emotions out of your body, and that's going to be okay. It's usually when you've run down below E, and like I said, you'll be very super sensitive. You'll notice that everything annoys you in those worlds. There's something going on that you need to, hey, I can't keep taking on stuff. That's that moment that that's that you need to say no part. Please do those. Go ask for help. Acknowledge when you need to have those moments of weakness. And just be human. Be human. Now, I told you I was going to bring up a picture, and I actually just remembered, that it kind of talks about, it's literally called Out of My Control, In My Control. And it's this chart basically of the things that are out of my control, and it's a circle. I think you needed to know what a circle was, so I had to draw it. So it's a circle. It's kind of like this. In my control, Actually, let's do this. I'm going to say out of my control. The past. Algorithms. Other people's behaviors and beliefs. The future. The media. Other people's opinions of me. That's a big one. Other people's opinions of me. In my control. My self-talk. My energy. Who I follow on social media. My self-care. The most important. Your self-care is in your control. My response. My boundaries. What I consume. My attitudes. My work on myself. There is an old saying that time heals. And I used to say, yeah, time does heal. And I remember saying that to my mother at one point, and she completely disagreed with me. It matters what you do in that time that will heal you. If you lay in bed and you sulk, that time's going to get further and further and further. The more good energy you put around yourself in that time that you're feeling low, hey, I'm going to go do the things that I love to do to hopefully reshape my mind. I'm going to start breathing. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a podcast. I'm going to go be an advocate for mental health. I'm going to do whatever it looks like for you. I'm going to go draw. I'm going to go sing. Be creative. Go put energy towards something that you love doing. Whatever that hobby is, basketball, football, soccer, field hockey, doesn't matter. What you do in your time is what heals you. So when it says in my control, my self-care, that's what that means. Time doesn't heal. What you do for yourself in that time, that's what heals. Surround yourselves with the people that will allow you to do that, and tell yourself that you need to do that. I really want to thank you guys for joining me on this first episode. Very, very obviously, this is a very intro episode. I have got so much more that I'm going to share with you guys. And interviews coming, I can't wait till the next episode. I've already kind of started writing that one. That's going to be a lot more in-depth stuff. Wanted to kind of just say what I wanted to talk about and give you an idea of what we'll be doing and sharing on this podcast. Now, how we're going to end these episodes, at least I'm going to try this. Please let me know if you like it, don't like it. I'm going to do a little breathing exercise and an outro. So we're going to start by just taking in a deep, deep breath. I want you to hold it for a moment, and I want you to release it. I want you to repeat after me, and these are going to be mantras for you. I am grateful for all that I have. I am grateful for all that I have. Breathe. Hold it. Release. Repeat after me. I'm exactly where I am meant to be. You are on your journey, your path. Where you are is where you are meant to be. Repeat it again. I am exactly where I am meant to be. Breathe in. Repeat after me. With every breath, I am reminded that I am alive and thus have more to give. There is a reason you are alive. There is a reason for the breath being placed back into your lungs today. You are here to fulfill your purpose, and each day you receive to do so as a reminder that you matter and are needed in this world. Breathe. I give myself permission to be all that I dreamed I would be. I'll say it again. I give myself permission to be all that I dreamed I would be. Breathe. One more time. Breathe. Thank you all. I'm going to do some mantras like that on each episode. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you will continue to enjoy this. Thank you for spending time with me today. I want you to be well, I want you to be loved, and I want you to be free. Thank you so much.